Sup? Sure. Hmm. It goes. Um. Yeah. Christmas. I took the week of Christmas off, except for that Monday, so I'll have some time off. Um. We'll probably go to his grandparents' house both Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Um. And then I have the rest of the time to do whatever, I guess. Um. We usually do Christmas with my brother in law the first weekend of January. But this year I have a conference to go to the first weekend of January, so I'm not going. It's called Magfest. It's it's like a video game music workshop thing. Um it's in Maryland, something harbor something. I don't remember. We're oh, it's like a conference slash convention. Like it's It's a convention in the sense that like you buy a ticket and there's a bunch of different things to do, and then like you just get a bunch of nerds kind of hanging out in one place, but it's also like a conference slash master class in some instances because they have like legit like classes that you can take with people in the industry and like get better at playing music. So, a bunch of us in the orchestra kids are gonna go. We're gonna drive down together, um, and take some of our instruments with us. So I'm probably gonna end up taking my flute and my bass flute, and then I don't know who else is bringing what, but that's probably what we're gonna end up doing. So I don't know if Christmas is gonna be like the weekend after that, if they're gonna postpone Christmas for me, or if they're just gonna do Christmas and I'm gonna miss out this year because my mother-in-law hasn't yet told me what she wants to do. So I don't know. I just lost sound for some reason. Like legit can't hear you at all. There we go. Okay, I got it. I figured it out. Well, to be fair, like this is my fault because I didn't realize until after the fact that the weekend of MagFest is when we usually do our Christmas until like a month ago, and we got our entrance to MagFest like 3 months ago. So I was like, oh, wait a second, that's kind of a bad thing. Yes, that's what it is. National Harbor. Yeah, I don't care about the casino. None of us are going to care about the casino. Guarantee you. We have enough casinos around here. I guarantee you none of us care. I was actually just at one of the casinos last night, so. We. No, my girlfriend and I went to go see Lindsey Sterling. Yeah. It was pretty good, except for the bitch in front of us who would not stop Snapchatting and recording the concert, like, every single song on her phone. It's like, why did you bother coming to the concert if you're not actually going to pay attention to the concert? I guarantee you the people on your Snapchat list don't give a shit and don't want to see your shitty Snapchat video that's like 20 seconds of a 2-minute song. Yeah, like, ugh, it was the worst. Like, I don't mind, like, taking a picture or two, or, like, you know, beforehand being like, oh, cool, look what I'm about to go do, and look who I'm gonna go see. But, like, legit, like, during the performance, put your fucking phone away. It's like when you go to the cinema. Put your fucking phone away. You can be away from your phone and people for the 2 hours that you're gonna be watching something. The world's not gonna end. So, like, don't ruin it for the people around you by just being a shitbag. But people are shitbags, so. No, it's actually, I find it more like older people do it than millennials. I don't I don't remember what we're supposed to do here. Uh Oof. Cool. I'm like, what? Zoomed in. Not a fan. My mouse wouldn't, like, back up. I gotta get a new mouse. Nah. My fingers are too ingrained at this point. And I actually started playing 14 with a controller. I played, I think I even played the beta with a controller. And at the very beginning of 2.0, I played with a controller. And then I was like, you know what? Nah, not gonna do this. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I played 11 with the controller, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and play this with the controller. And it worked for a while, and then I was like, you know what? This is kind of stupid. Yeah. Well, 11 with a controller was fine because it's basically menus, and so I stuck everything in macros and just did a controller on the macro, and that was how I survived. Ugh, damn it. Okay. We have to kill these things, right? No, we have to carry them out of the... That's right. Yeah. I know, I saw. Really? Well, I don't. I threw it off a cliff. Yeah, I think he can. Really? How about you go level my jobs? Yeah, I know. To the objects. I just didn't make it in time. Oh! That part I didn't know. Cool. I thought it was only when I had the thing. Maybe. No, because I didn't move. I was still in Vuln. Oh! That muscle memory, man. It's okay. I got you, baby. Uh, you're welcome. Okay. I don't remember how to do this one. No. You didn't stand in a glowy circle. Pretty small. Cause I have mine stuck on small. Cause I'm tiny and I can't see shit and I can't see myself. So I get tired of that real quick. Yep. A while ago. Yeah. We don't have a black mage. Yeah, he's died. Bene. You and me both. I got 2 comms. That's what you get in here. Okay. Sure. Me too. I'm sorry. I mean, I know in my case it's just because I've been stupidly busy and I've been so utterly exhausted at the end of the day that I just can't function. More people. Yeah. Well, that first week in January, uh, sweet. I got two 10K pots. Um, that Friday, I won't be here because, like I said, that the Magfest, I'll be. We're driving down on Friday evening, so I'll be in a car with a bunch of other nerds at that point. Um, me either. Um, but yeah, so it'll. Yeah. Well, and I'm trying to adopt a cat at the moment, and yeah, I'm trying to adopt a special needs cat. Um, what'd you do? That's fine. Um, yeah, that's why I had somebody come to my house today because I'm trying to adopt this little cat, and it's him and his sister. And his sister's a normal cat, but they're a bonded pair. So if you get one, you have to get the other. And this little cat is super adorable, but he's also like super gimpy. um, like his mama was 4 months old when she got pregnant, so she was a very tiny kitty, and she had four babies. And because she was so tiny, like this cat got stuck and couldn't move around when he was like developing. So his joints and his legs are like all kind of messed up, and his rib cage is like pointy and curled, and so like he's cute. He just kind of scoots everywhere cuz he can't his back legs don't work right. So he can't walk like a normal cat. He does. He kind of scoots and he kind of flops everywhere. Um he kind of drags himself around a little bit, but he likes being held like a baby, and he's super cute. And his bonded sister like helps keep him clean and everything, and he's adorable. But he's not done growing yet. So they're not going to adopt him out until he's done growing, because once his growth plates fuse, cuz that's what happens when you stop growing, um they'll be able to see if they should put like pins in his front legs, because it, it depends. Like it might help him be able to like carry his weight on his front legs better. um cuz right now, imagine that your strength like stops at your elbows. So he can't hold himself up on his hands or on his paws, he holds himself up by his elbows. And so when he walks around, like, he's pulling himself by his elbows everywhere. That's kind of like, so what they were thinking is, depending on how his growth plates fuse and stuff like that, they might want to put pins in his elbows to, like, permanently straighten his little legs. Now that'll remove any flexibility that he has in that joint. But it's kind of like a wait and see. And the thing is like, that surgery is really expensive. That surgery is like $5 to $10K. So the rescue will not let him go until they know whether or not he needs it. And if he needs it, the rescue will pay for it. Not the person who adopts him. So, yeah. But that means, because it's not an exact science, he could still be there for another couple of months until he's finished growing. So we may not get him till like March at the earliest. So, yeah, it's a little ways away. And so today what it was just a home visit. So this woman could come meet me, meet my husband, see our house, see, the other cats that we have. Because she's also like, you have 3 cats already. And like, if you put 2 more, like, it could be crazy time. And I'm like, yeah, I know. We've had 5 cats before. We fostered cats. We've had 5 here. Like, I know what it's like. It'll be fine. And we'll do whatever we have to do to make the house work for Flap. That's the little cat's name, is Flap. With like a Flapjack Short Stacks is his full name. And his sister is Sugar Snap Sugar Pants. Right? Wow, that should not have hurt so much. Yeah. So, but yeah, she's like, like, it could be kind of crazy. I'm like, nah, it's fine. Like, it'll be fine. And trying to convince her, like, or reassure her that we'll do whatever we need to. Like, so we don't have hardwood floors. We've got shitty contractor grade laminate floors. And like, I don't care about my floors. I'm like, whatever. They're not great floors, so who cares? And because because it's hardwood floors and because his legs are the way they are, like, he can't. Right, he's not going to be able to scoot around on hardwood. So, she's like, well, what about putting down rugs? I'm like, yeah, like, that's perfectly fine. Like, why would I not do that? Like, we could get a million rugs and carpet the entire floor. We could put carpeting everywhere for all I care. Like, just, it's fine. So, but yeah, talking about like things that he can do, things that he can't do, like things that we would need to modify around the house for him. Get little kitty stairs or like kitty ramps, because I don't even think he can use the stairs. So yeah, or like, if you want him up on the sofa with you, you're gonna have to pick him up, but because his rib cage is the way that it is, you can't pick him up like you'd pick up a regular cat. And just like all this kind of stuff that we were talking about. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, it's really weird that you want a gimpy cat. She's like, not that I want him for forever, because I don't, but like, she's like really suspicious that anybody would really want to adopt this cat. And I'm like, we're home 4 days a week. We have the money. Like, and it's, I hate seeing these cats that end up staying at rescues a long time because they need medication or they're old, because people don't want to take them in and take the time. So, like, I don't want a little cat that, is super easy adoptable, because somebody else is going to come along and they're going to snap up the super easy adoptable cat. So give me the hard cat. Like, I don't mind the work. Like, it's fine. So now she's like, after the beginning of the year, we're going to get to go and meet him and hang out with him and play with him and his sister. And she's like, you know, well, you should meet him to decide if you really want him. And like, she has a live stream set up in the little room where she keeps all her fosters right now. And I've just been watching this stream like all week. I'm like, I already know that I want this cat. Like, it's not even a question. Like, totally will just, yeah, I want this cat. So, trying to get him. We'll see. Like, it just, but it's almost like a little nerve-wracking because like I have to try and convince this woman that we have no tank, or we have no other guy. We're down a person. But yeah, so it's like kind of nerve-wracking too though, because it's like I'm trying to convince this person that like we're good enough to have this gimpy little cat. And like, I don't know, like I'm afraid that I'm gonna be found like not good enough, as dumb as that sounds. So yeah. But yeah, I've basically told my husband that I'm embracing the crazy cat lady because we're not having kids. So, you know, that's what I'm hoping this person like thinks. She met Locke because Locke came out to play. Um, but Nutmeg was sleeping, so she didn't want to wake Nutmeg up. And like, Nutmeg was like my wild card. She was like my little ace in the pocket, and I didn't get to use her. So, because she slept the entire time the woman was here, so like she didn't get to see Nutmeg be all happy. And then Sash, I knew, right? Um, and Sash hid, which I completely expected because he doesn't like strangers. So, she really only got to meet Locke, but she did see that Nutmeg exists. So, you know, that at least kind of works in my favor, I guess. But ow. That was painful. I don't even know what that was. But yeah, that was also kind of like what I told this woman when I talked to her on the phone, is like, you know, I've got two special needs cats. Now, granted, they're not like nearly as bad as Flap is, but they both need medication. They both need pretty close monitoring. Like, you know, they have their own problems. So, um, the one thing that is different is that, and this is where I feel a little weird because I don't buy into this kind of stuff, but she's kind of woo. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, she's like really into like homeopathy, and on top of like she follows like legit like regular medicine, right? Because Flap has his own team of doctors and he has a surgeon and stuff like that. But she's also like really kind of into homeopathy and like the natural thing of doing things, and it makes me feel a little weird because like I wholly ascribe to my vet knows best mentality. Um and she, I don't know. I don't know if she thinks that, but she definitely like believes in like homeopathic stuff. So it's just like some kind of cognitive dissonance, and it's a little I don't know, like it's a little strange, and it makes me feel a little uncomfortable. But I think what it is too is that the big change would be, and I don't know that this is bad, I just don't know enough about it, is that one of the conditions of adoption through her rescue is yeah, people are dumb. One of the conditions of adoption through her agency is that you feed the cats uh what they call raw diet, which means you don't feed them like commercial canned cat food. You feed them like actual raw meat. Um which so what it is cats, and I sort of understand this, like, and that's the thing, like it makes some amount of sense. So cats are what they call obligate carnivores, which means they must eat meat. They don't need to eat fruits and vegetables. They don't need to eat carbs. Like, that's just not something that is part of their diet. And commercial cat foods have a lot of carbs and grains and vegetables that they wouldn't normally eat. So the idea is that these cat foods aren't good for them and that they cause certain kinds of health problems. Dry food especially is bad for them because naturally when they eat rodents and mice and small animals, they get a lot of moisture and liquid from the food that they eat. Whereas if they eat dry food, they lack that moisture and they are not natural water drinkers. So what happens is they end up with a lot of urinary issues. Like crystals and kidney stones and stuff like that because they don't have the amount of liquid in their bodies that they would otherwise. So dry food is particularly bad, but the leading theory is, or the leading idea is that wet food is also bad because it contains all these carbs and all these grains and all these things that they wouldn't be eating normally. So the way to fix that is by feeding them what they call a raw diet. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a bunch of raw meat. And depending on how you do it, you can either add a bunch of stuff to it or you can not. So like in addition to, like, you can't just go to the store and buy ground meat and give it to your cat because, right, you can't do it that way because when a cat eats animals in the wild, not only do they eat the muscle meat, which is what you're buying when you go to the store, they eat the liver, they eat the bones, they eat the chicken necks, they eat the brains sometimes. And all of these things have minerals and have certain things in them that the cats do need. So, like, one thing that cats really, really need is something called taurine. And it's only found in certain parts of an animal. So, which is not in the muscle meat. So, if you just feed muscle meat, you're not going to give your cat taurine and it will die because it just, that's something that biologically a cat's body needs to function. So what they recommend is that you give them 80% muscle meat, 10% bone, and 10% organ meat. And then that organ meat is like 5% liver, 5% other organs. Is kind of like the breakdown. So you could do one of two things. One is you can go to some of these companies and they will grind up the meat and stuff in this ratio for you, and you just buy it from them and you can just give it to your animal that way. Or you can do it yourself. So you can buy a whole chicken and you can buy a couple extra chicken necks and you can buy a couple chicken hearts and you can buy a couple chicken livers and you can figure out the ratio yourself and grind it all up. And you can do things like you can add taurine to it. You can add salmon oil to it so that they get those fatty oils that they need, that their body needs, so that they get the taurine that their body needs, so that they get these things, so that you make sure that you're not feeding them a diet that's deficient in some mineral that they need. So like I said, it makes sense. I can understand the thought process and the mentality behind it, but I don't know if it's really like woo or if it's legit, because there's not a lot of studies that have been done to show that this is something that's actually better for the animal, or if this is kind of like, well, this is how it is in the wild, so it must be better, you know? Like, I don't know. So it makes me a little nervous, but at the same time, like I said, like, it makes sense. Like, I 100% can see how it would be legit. So I don't have to convert my current cats over to it if I don't want to. But if we adopt Flap and Sugar have to stay on this all meat diet as it's like part of the thing that you sign when you adopt the animals from her. And honestly, like, it's working for them right now. So, like, I'm not gonna say, like, oh, they're wrong and I should change it and, like, you know, as soon as I get them or whatever. Like, I don't think that's the answer. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I know everything, because I certainly don't. So I don't know. You know, it's a little, Yeah. It's a little out there, and but again, like I completely understand like how it would make sense. So I have the other thing is that vets are kind of like human doctors in the sense that like they don't get a lot of like nutrition training. So like you go to your doctor, right? If you go to your GP, they'll tell you one thing. I'll go to my GP, he'll tell me something else. My husband will go to his doctor. His doctor will say something completely different. All along the lines of like what is better for you nutritionally, because they're not nutritionists. They're doctors. They their focus is on fixing the broken parts of your body, not your food that you eat. So a lot of these vets are the same way. They don't know a lot about nutrition. They know as much as they've been told by these corporate pet food companies. These corporate pet food companies come in and give them a half-hour spiel on why their cat food is better than the other cat foods, and then they leave. And that's all that the vet really knows. So, and well, yeah, and but that's not really what we're talking about. Like, yeah, like, yeah, it's clear. Hi, Azo. Um, yeah, they're not going to be like, feed your cat something that's going to kill them, but it's more like a complete like right. Right. Yeah. Right. Well, and that's why I'm saying like so I have a cat who is on what they call urinary SO because when he was 3 years old, he got a blockage cuz he had crystals. And you know, he's been on it ever since. So he's been on it for 5 years. Yeah, he's been on it for 5 years. And if you look at it, like the ingredients in it, like it's a prescription diet, but there's like nothing in it that isn't in most other canned cat foods. So it's like what really makes this like so special? What's supposed to make it so that he doesn't have crystals ever again? And and I did some reading at the time and I found some information about, it's not necessarily the food, it's making sure that they get enough water intake and making sure they get enough liquid intake, water down their food a little bit and you should be relatively okay. And but again, I for the longest time ascribed to the idea that my vet knows best. And maybe that's not true. I'm I'm also a little convinced because this same cat a year after he went on the urinary SO food developed a condition where he can't digest his food properly. So like in my brain I'm like he was fine until he went on this food. And like my gut has always been like the food kind of fucked up his digestive system, but I'm not a vet. I don't have any proof of that. It's just kind of a gut feeling I have because why would he have been fine until he was put on this food? You know? So I'm slowly kind of like coming around to the idea that this is something I actually want to do for my other cats, regardless of whether or not I get Flap and Sugar. Um, I think at least something it's worth trying at the very least. And we tend to keep a really good eye and a really close eye on our cats, and we take them to the vet if we think anything is wrong or anything is weird. Like it's even when I know what's wrong. So like Nutmeg got a UTI like a month ago. I knew it was a UTI. It's not life threatening, but I'm taking her to the 24-hour vet at 11:30 at night because she's uncomfortable and they can give her something until I can get to my vet during the week cuz it was like a friggin' Saturday night or something like that. You know. So we keep and I feel like with the amount of attention that we keep on our cats that if we were to give this a shot, like we would pick up on something if something was going wrong. Um, and then we would just, stop and we'd reverse course. So I don't know. We might be giving it a shot. Mm. I don't know. I can't read your mind. Yeah, and people seem to be really happy with them. I didn't see anything about that from the people that adopted from her, but I spent like the past week like researching and looking up like all like anything that I could find on the diet that she's recommending. And that's why I'm saying like it doesn't seem so crazy. Like it makes sense. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm good. I'm good. Well, and so there's kind of like tiers. So like Fancy Feast is like the bottom of the bottom. Like it's really bad when it comes to what you can give them. Um I like to think that I do pretty good because I actually even though I give them like commercial food, I give them like grain free, so they're not getting a lot of the stuff that they don't need. Um but one of the problems that you come across with these canned foods is that you know so since cats are obligate carnivores they need protein, right? They need protein from animals. What a lot of these companies will do in order to get their protein ratio percentage up is they'll supplement with like vegetable proteins, which aren't really the same thing. So they'll have like pea protein instead of protein from a meat, which doesn't function the same way. It doesn't have the same kind of minerals and stuff in it that you would get from meat. So like it's better, than like Fancy Feast that has like a bunch of fillers and stuff in it. But it's also not like really what they should be eating. Um so like I said, I like to think I do a good job cuz at the very least like my cats get the grain free stuff except for the one who's on the special food. Um I feel like I know at least enough that to know to be looking at the labels and being like, well, they don't need to eat potatoes. They don't need to eat yams. They don't need to eat cheese. Like it's and it's so weird because like you'll go to the grocery store or you'll go to the pet store and you'll see foods that is like they try to make it sound appetizing, but like appetizing as if you were a human, right? So it's like turkey and vegetable. It's like cats don't need vegetables. Why do you have carrots and stuff in food when they don't eat vegetables? Like that's not why. You know, or they'll have something that there was one that I saw like it was like has like little pasta bits in it. Like why would my cat eat pasta? Like the fuck is wrong with you? I don't I'm guessing so. Yeah. No, it's not hard pasta. It's squishy little pasta bits. But it's like they don't need to eat pasta. Like they don't that's not part of their diet. Why are you giving them that? Um yeah, it's hello. Uh but yes, we'll I think it's something we're gonna do. I bought and that's the other thing. So like it's becoming such a thing now. Like 10 years ago, it was a niche thing, right? Now it's so quote unquote mainstream that most pet stores have a freezer in them somewhere that has like frozen raw food for dogs and cats that have like the appropriate ratio. So the companies that make it grind up the right amount of muscle meat and the right amount of organ meat and the right amount of bones and they mix it all together and I guess they can like extrude it in like little pellets or something. But it, it's properly prepared food um for cats, and then they have ones for dogs because so like dogs do need like some other stuff, right? So dogs and cats don't eat the same things. Dogs are not obligate carnivores like cats are. So dogs do need some vegetables, not all vegetables, but they do need some vegetables, and they need it in a different ratio than cats. But so some pet stores will have these freezers that have this food. Now, it's expensive as shit, but it's kind of like I think it's kind of meant to be like a stopgap to see if it's and this is the way that we're going to use it. If I can get my cats to eat this, then I won't feel bad investing in like a meat grinder so that I can do it myself. Because a meat grinder is a relatively expensive piece of equipment, but then I can get the meat itself ridiculously cheap. So I'll save money in the long run by doing it myself rather than buying it frozen, prepackaged from the store. But if I can't get my cats to eat it at all, then I'm not going to shell out for the money for a grinder to do it because, right. So, especially if I don't know if I'm going to get flap and sugar. If I'm not going to get flap and sugar, then and my cats won't eat it, then there's really no reason to get one. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. This is true. I don't think I like hamburgers enough to buy a $300 machine just for hamburgers.
Well, the other thing is too is if you're just gonna do hamburgers, then you don't need like one of the really fancy ones that can grind up bones, because you're gonna use like you're not gonna use bone-in meat for your hamburgers. So yeah, so you'll be fine. You can get away with a cheaper one. For for me, if I'm gonna be doing this for the cats, I need a more expensive one
Because I need one that can actually grind up bones.
Yeah, no, it's so there's a couple different things that you can do, but they're none of them are like really as complete or as good as using actual bone. So you can actually get cuz what you really want is like the calcium and a couple of the other trace minerals that are found in the bones. So you can get a close approximation if you use say like ground up eggshells, right? So you can use it's basically eggshell powder. Um it's not as good as using the actual bones, but it is an option. But yes, you do use like the actual bones. So like you could buy chicken wings and you can buy bone in chicken thighs and just run them through the grinder. And so there is your muscle meat and there is your bone. And then you go and you get some liver and kidney and heart and grind that up too, and now you have your complete mix that you would then give to the animal. There's some math involved because you got to figure out like here's the weight of your muscle meat and here's the weight of your bones and here's the weight of your organs, but because like I said, it's got to stay kind of like 8, 10, and 10, or 8, 80, and 10 and 10. Um, yeah, 28%. Yeah, no. But outside of doing like that little bit of math, that's it. That's all you're really doing, and you're doing that for you could do that for like any other kind of meat too. You just have to remember that different animals have a different ratio of like bones to muscle, so you might need a supplement with something. So if you think about rabbit is something that cats really like the taste of, probably because if they were out living on their own, they would eat a lot of rabbit. Um, Rabbit has a higher bone to muscle ratio because they are smaller animals, but they still have a lot of bones when you're comparing it to something like a chicken. So you might want to remove some of those bones, or you might want to supplement the muscle with, like, say, chicken breast or something like that that doesn't have any bone in, so that you can kind of bring those ratios into alignment. Um, and there are some suppliers who have like elk meat. They've got they've got all sorts of stuff. They've got like alpaca meat. They've got like all kinds of different things. So like if you really felt like being crazy, you could get something like that. Um, but yeah, the other thing is too is that like you can't just feed them one meat. So like even though even though you try to stay close to 80 10 10 as much as possible for any given meal or any given meat batch, it's it's kind of like humans where if you eat just one thing over and over and over and over for you, you're gonna miss out on some of these minerals and some of these stuff that your body needs. So they recommend like 3 different kinds of meat. So it could be like beef, chicken, and turkey, or turkey and beef and, I don't know, rabbit, or, you know, something like that, where you're getting these different kinds of meat so that you get the different kinds of minerals and stuff that's kind of like in these different animals, to try and, you know, balance everything out and make sure that you're not lacking in something. So we'll give it a shot. We'll see. I have a feeling Nutmeg will be fine because she lived outside at one point, so she's probably going to be like, oh, raw food. I know what this is. I don't know about my 2 boys. They've never been outside. They've never eaten a raw animal. The closest they've been to a raw animal is like a bird and a bird feeder on the other side of the window. So we'll see how that goes. Thanks. Me too. And really, the only reason I know anything about this is because I want this stupid little messed up cat. He really is super cute, though, his little face. Oh, yeah. When we're not about to go beat something in the face, I'll show it to you. Yeah, I see that. Oh, thank you. We missed you too. That's a little demanding, sir. Yeah, but recruiting shouldn't mean guilting people. Come on. Eh, Oh, I'm dead too. Yeah, that's what people said about here, Ro. Things most assuredly did not turn out fine. He he's a shitty human being. People will. I'm gonna eat that. Oh. No, don't. I don't either. Get off my desk. Thank you. I was not in that. But okay. Sure. I was not. Please take it off me. Somebody please take it off me. Love it. Great. It still hit me. Yeah. I have no idea. Yeah. Yep. Ooh. Nope, we're gonna hit that. Thank you, Ro. Save me! Or don't. Cool! Cool. Cool. Ugh. Should I use LB3? Oh, then never mind. They already used it. Oh. Cool, Ulrich. Little bitch killed me at the very end. He had the AoE, right? And we went right. Yeah. Let me know when you go past the waypoint. Yeah, that thing. Okay. It's usually what you want. Oh, Ulrich, you're so far away. I can't heal you. Dummy. That's fine. Nice. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Oh, bad, bad, bad. Bad. Sure. We'll go with it. All right. Thank you for coming. Good night. Oh, shit. All right, I made it. I think a lot of people don't know what they're doing here. Ah. Forward. Don't think he realizes that he's supposed to be facing the other way, but sure. Not spitting the boss. Yeah. You can fall off here? Oh. I didn't know that. He tested being in the center instead of running to the edge to jump. Why me? Do not want.
again, do not want. I was gonna say, this is like pretty easy, anyways. Yeah, it's. Yep. Dude, don't even. The amount of sleep I've gotten this week has been like nothing. So I don't want to hear that you're tired, man, alright? I had one day this week where I had literally like 2 hours of sleep. No, you're alive. Oh, 'cause you hadn't gone to it in so long? Hmm. Yeah, I just went and visited mine just in case. Oh. Oops. There we go. I already have the body. Damn it. Shit. 5 people.
are new. Yeah. Uh-huh. That's just 5 people from our party that are new. Because we don't see from other alliance parties. That would explain why people keep dying a lot. Alright, cool. Got it. No. No. Kuja, Noboro, Kuja, Noburu, Midori, Falcon, and Ulrich. Hey. No, it doesn't. Dunamis? Like Dynamis? From 11? No. Not even close, bro. Not even close. You're trying way too hard to make it happen. Nah. Not happening. I can't tell. I get hit by this all the time. I can never see which way he's facing, so... I see that. Well, I got 10 seconds on cooldown, so... You could have just stayed dead until this part's over. Now, which one is it?
one. I think he was just looking at where the rest of our people were.
And nada. No drop for me. I rolled a 1 and a 96 on the orchestrion rolls. Congrats. I dropped Flapjack in chat. Right? And look at his back paw, the one that's on the bottom. Their back paws aren't supposed to bend that way. And let me see if I can find one of his sister. Yep. He's a bit of a floppy boy. He is beautiful. Actually, here, and if you look at this, he can actually launch himself, but you'll see he's got like little frog legs. Right? You're so mean with him being on the hard floor like that. I still gotta try and find one of his sister, though. Where's his sister? He is. He's really mobile. I'm looking on their Facebook page for Sugar. Where are you, Sugar? That's not a flattering picture of Sugar. This one's better. So his sister is the one that is standing on the blue thing. So her coloring is kind of like his with a little bit of black. A little bit of brown. Yeah. Yeah. I have no idea. I don't think so. I don't think either of those other three are related. Well, actually, the brown, the orange one with the white foot might be related to them, but the other two, so the black and white one is Boom Boom McGillicuddy, and the other one, the gray one with the white paws, is Pickles. I don't remember what the rest of the name, but Pickles is gorgeous. If I wasn't looking at Flap and I was like going for cats that are easily adoptable, I would go for Pickles because she is just holy shit. Sorry, not Pickles. Tickle. I always want to call her Pickles. Tickles. Tickles is the name. Uh Let me show you this picture of Tickle. She is fucking gorgeous. Right? She's gonna find a home like so easy. I don't know why they haven't been able to find one for her already, but she is so pretty. So pretty. Uh no, that's just fur. No, it's just the inside of her ear. All right, you're gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna do the same then. Yeah, I will see you next week. You too. Oh, of course. All right. Good night.